alleged conspiracy problems. So we could be talking about Biden administration officials that could be getting pulled into this. And it could get all the way up to President Obama. I mean, having now really read in on this case, there's a real question about whether Barack Obama's about to have the same kind of trouble that Jack Smith caused for Donald.
I'm going to go to the next topic here, which is Adam's top topic, talking about Obama saying every man needs a gay friend. So Obama goes
Barack,
on his wife's podcast, okay? And they're sitting there having this conversation, and it opens. They covered a lot of different things. Right off the bat, they talked about the divorce. Hey, aren't we supposed to be getting a divorce and all this stuff? Just tell me.
Barack Obama's polished legacy took a serious hit when Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David got involved. They didn't hold back. No soft interviews, no flattery, just straight talk that ripped apart the carefully built image of hope and inspiration. They questioned everything from his speeches to the rumors about his marriage, dragging his public persona through the kind of reality check that no amount of media love can protect. On Michelle's podcast, Obama made headlines saying every man needs a gay friend and joking about divorce rumors. But
that one day, the intelligence community under Barack Obama was ready to come out and say that the Russians did not interfere in the 2016 election and really had no part in it, and that whole thing was kind of bullshit. Then Barack Obama pulled them all into the White House. They had a big meeting, and then literally the next day, they were like, Russia interfered to help Trump, and leaked it to all the reporters, Washington Post.
But think you're Obama, okay? First go from the Obama's lens.
Okay.
Obamas are sitting there having to hear people compare Kamala to Obama.
Crazy.
Do you know what that does to Obama? Do you know Obama is sitting there saying, shut the that's what Obama's saying internally.
Yeah. Critics weren't laughing. Instead, people noticed Michelle skipping major appearances no-show at the Carter funeral, the Trump inauguration, or even courtside at recent basketball games. While he's doing podcasts and public appearances, she seems distant, literally. And symbolically, that came the big one, questions about the intelligence community's shifting story under Obama. First, they were ready to say Russia didn't interfere in the 2016 election. Then suddenly, after a meeting in the White House,
knowing that there are divorce rumors and, she's not showing up for him, whether it's at the Jimmy Carter funeral or the Trump inauguration or the basketball game he just went to in LA, when visiting their daughters and then dinner with the daughters, was not there. Here she is talking about it. If it were me, I would say something nice about him. I would say he's just so charming. It was meant to be. I knew he could heal the earth in the way he did. There was only one person who could do it, and it was my husband, Barack Obama, whatever.
The message changed overnight. The news story Russia helped Trump got leaked immediately to the press. Convenient timing. Critics say yes. And now, with the Biden administration facing growing legal heat, there's talk that investigations could reach all the way back to Obama himself. This isn't some wild conspiracy theory anymore, it's getting real attention. The idea that Obama might have pushed a false intelligence narrative has become a serious discussion point, not just media noise. Meanwhile, Obama's been busy.
Obama's office spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, great first name, rejected the office of the Director of National Intelligence. Reports claim that senior Obama administration officials orchestrated the Russia collusion hoax, stating, out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. And he called the allegations outrageous and ridiculous, a weak attempt of
keeping up appearances, giving speeches, showing up on podcasts, snapping selfies with celebrities. He talks about hope, unity, and leadership like he's still in office. But it all feels out of touch, especially when real-world problems are growing worse and he's nowhere near the fight. Kelly and Bet-David didn't just call out the contradictions, they laughed at them. They mocked how Kamala Harris being compared to Obama must make him cringe. They joked about how Obama turned into a man who drops in
dossier because the boss has told them to get back to him with an assessment that says Russia did interfere and Russia meant to help Trump. And so where do they turn? They don't have it, except in the Steele dossier, which we now know was totally made up. It's been entirely discredited. That was the best evidence they had.
Only 4 media moments, not real leadership. And for every time Michelle says something vague or disconnected about their relationship, critics sharpen their knives. At this point, Obama's post-presidency isn't about policy, it's about protecting the brand. But the cracks are showing. The charm is wearing thin, and the critics, they're just getting started. Obama's image as a thoughtful, polished...
Personally, for me, if I were able to run for a third term, Michelle would divorce me. So, so it's useful that I don't have that choice to make.
I know you have to leave.
But Michelle was never wild about politics. Michelle once explained to me, I try to organize my life not to have a lot of mess around. And politics is just a big mess.
Leader is starting to crack. Critics like Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David are calling him out, not for personal attacks, but for exposing how little substance stood behind all the style. His smooth speeches and carefully crafted public appearances made him look like a leader. But when it came to action, the results tell a different story. His spokesperson tried to deny any wrongdoing when reports came out about how his team might have pushed the whole Russia collusion story. But instead of answering, they called it nonsense and dismissed it. That's been the pattern when things get tough. Avoid the questions and change the subject. Many say Obama wasn't leading. He was performing. People bought into the slogans like hope and change, but the only change they got was more clever ways of avoiding accountability. And when things got politically heated like during the Russia investigation, people allegedly leaned on the not-debunked Steele dossier to back their claims. That was their best evidence. While the country faced serious problems, Obama was busy building playlists and chasing trademarks. Even Michelle admitted she hated the mess of politics and didn't enjoy their time in it. Obama himself once joked that if he ran for a third term, Michelle would leave him. Patrick Bet-David didn't buy the image at all. He slammed Obama for being present at every crisis without actually doing anything meaningful. The guy could show up.
Tell me what place Trump wouldn't go to on media where they would trash him. Where would he not go to? Would he not go to CNN? Would he not go to MSNBC? Would he not go to Jimmy Fallon? Would he not go to Jimmy Kimmel? Would he not go to? Would he not? He went everywhere, right? Now, let me flip this on you. How many times have you seen Obama, Clinton, Hillary, any of those guys,
Biden,
go on Fox ever? How many times? The answer is never.
Give a beautiful speech and walk away clean, even if he had a hand in creating the problem in the first place. He looked like a leader, but critics argue he rarely acted like one. Obama still gets treated like royalty by Democrats, even though under his leadership they lost almost 1,000 seats across state and federal governments. If that's success, then losing must have been redefined. And let's talk about media appearances. Trump, no matter what people say about him, faced all kinds of interviews and hostile shows. Obama, he stuck to friendly outlets, never Fox News, never a truly tough room. That's not transparency. That's control. Megyn Kelly called out this cozy media treatment too. Big questions about drone strikes, IRS scandals, or Benghazi barely got touched by major outlets. Instead, Obama was portrayed like a cultural icon rather than a political leader with real responsibilities. Patrick went even harder, calling Obama's presidency what it really was, a brand, not a movement. He got the Peace Prize and then spent 8 years approving drone strikes. He gave poetic speeches while his...
Under Barack Obama planned, a lot of this is from Racket News, which everybody should read directly, Matt's group. Intel officials planned a December 9th, 2016 presidential daily brief, which is always from the Intel community for the president, letting him know what's happening in the world. They planned a PDB that would say foreign adversaries, quoting here, foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on election infrastructure to alter the U.S. presidential election.
Policies led to real harm. That's not leadership. Pitts PR with a body count. Then there's the economy. Obama didn't fix it for the average person. He bailed out the same Wall Street giants who caused the crash. Regular folks got left behind while the big guys got bonuses. At this point, Obama's legacy feels more like a commercial than a record of real leadership. The hope he sold turned out to be packaging, not policy. And more people are realizing it. Intel officials planned a special briefing for President Obama on December 9, 2016. It was supposed to say clearly, no foreign countries used cyber attacks to change the outcome of the U.S. election. But that message got buried. Instead, a very different story was pushed to the public. Meanwhile, under Obama, Wall Street kept getting richer while everyday Americans struggled. He gave speeches about fixing the middle class, but his real audience seemed to be wealthy tech billionaires who dodge taxes like it's a sport. The recovery looked great if you had a private jet. Not so much if you lived paycheck to paycheck. Megyn Kelly didn't let any of that slide. She pointed out how Obama disappeared whenever real reform was needed. He talked a lot about police reform, racial justice, and immigration, but action.
See if maybe this is a way America can hear me at this moment. Go back to that day 10 years ago,
what I think binds it together, all these different strands, a case upholding healthcare, a case declaring same-sex marriage part of our constitutional protections, of mourning. I think what pulls it all together is that no one person did any of that.
So he's sitting around on a June Thursday thinking about himself.
He deported more people than any president before him. It was like he wore the Hope poster while doing the opposite behind closed doors and healthcare. Obamacare wasn't a bold step forward, it was a deal with big insurance companies. It forced people into confusing plans where even a minor illness could leave them broke. Obama had the power to fight for something better, but instead, he chose to protect his image. In one speech, he tried to bring everything together, healthcare, same-sex marriage, and hope, as if it were all part of a grand plan. But Patrick Bet-David cut through the fluff. He said what many people feel. Obama spent more time protecting his image than actually leading. He'd show up for photo ops like drinking Flint's water on camera, while the real problems stayed unfixed. People still defend Obama like he's some superhero. But that's not loyalty, it's nostalgia. Since leaving office, he's become more of a celebrity than a leader. Netflix deals, speeches, books, all while the issues he helped create keep growing. And while he talks about democracy, his actions as president showed a different side. Expanding executive power, avoiding tough choices, and saying just
tonight they wake up. Oh my God, Michelle, bed is wet. What, babe? I'm right here. Babe, is it already November? Did they already announce he's president? No, babe. Today's the October 25th. Oh my God, babe. Oh my God, please hold my hand. Please hold my hand. Please hold my hand. Oh my God, it's not here yet. Every night they're going to sleep. Wedding.
Enough to sound thoughtful. The joke goes that some Democrats wake up in the middle of the night afraid Obama might be back on the ballot, or worse, still pulling strings. And that's not far off. His time in office wasn't just disappointing, it was polished in action. He made doing nothing look smart, and walking away from problems look presidential. Patrick Bet-David doesn't fall for the cool dad act. He sees Obama not as a strong leader, but as a smooth-talking figurehead, someone the party wheels out when they need to sound inspiring, not when real solutions are needed. Obama is like background music, easy to listen to, but completely useless when things get serious. In the end, his biggest achievement might be making average results look like success. And even now, with the country facing tough problems, he still hasn't taken real responsibility, just more speeches, more media, and more distractions. Barack Obama was once seen as a brilliant leader, full of hope and promise. But now, more and more people are beginning to question if we were fooled by a great performance rather than real action. He left behind a divided Democratic Party, a stronger surveillance state, and a generation of politicians who think tweets and hashtags
Or fuel on the fire that there's a potential, maybe a divorce or some sort of rockiness going on in the Obamas' relationship. They both posted these mirrored, very choreographed Valentine's Day messages on X, but he was just seen at an LA, the basketball team, the Clippers, thank you, game without her. And then on Tuesday, he was spotted eating out at a fancy dinner in Sherman Oaks with his both daughters, Malia and Sasha, but again, no Michelle, according to TMZ.
Are the same as leadership. Obama still gives speeches about unity and hope, acting like he's delivering wisdom from a mountaintop. But the truth is, real problems were left unresolved. Rumors about his personal life, like possibly having marriage troubles with Michelle and Lee, add to the feeling that things aren't as perfect as they seem. While they posted Valentine's Day messages online, Obama was seen at public events without her, including fancy dinners with their daughters. These small things don't confirm anything, but they fuel public curiosity. Commentators like Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David weren't afraid to speak honestly. They saw through the polished image, the book tours, the Spotify playlists, and endless PR appearances. They said what many others won't. Obama isn't leading anymore, it's just commenting from the sidelines, collecting royalties and applause for problems he helped create. Obama is the kind of person who starts a fire, then shows up later with a...
Here is Trump just now. He was just caught on camera saying, well, we'll play both of them in succession. Let her rip.
Witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard. What they did to this country in 2016, starting in 2016, but going up to 2020 of the election. They tried to rig the election, and they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that.
Marshmallow Stick and a podcast to explain why the fire matters. He'll do a full podcast series on leadership while flying to climate events in a private jet. It's like being lectured on saving the planet by someone burning gasoline. But whole tea.